Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Shazia Khan, and the unit that you'll be doing today is contract law. So you're doing the level 4 diploma in law. Before you we go through the unit specification, we'll go through four learning outcomes that you've got and then the assignment discussion. So I'll be going through them quite quickly because we've got only got 2 hours. And we tend to have an hour per session. So if there's anything
Mhm.
you need to ask me throughout the sessions, ask away and I'll ask you questions as well. So we make the session a bit more interesting and a bit more interactive as well, okay?
Sure.
So you will have the assignment discussion. Um, and if there's any questions you need to ask, just ask away, okay?
Sure, no
So,
problem.
first of all, we'll go through the unit specification. As it says, it's a unit level 4, and the grading for the unit is a pass or a fail.
Mhm.
And it goes through the aim of the unit is to provide you with an understanding of contract law, what are legally binding agreements, and looking at factors that a contract can be breached. So there's four learning outcomes. The first learning outcome that we'll go through is understanding the requirements of a binding agreement. And here we look at the AC, which is the assessment criteria, is 1.1 to describe how to make a legally binding offer and acceptance. We look at 1.2, we look at explaining how offer and acceptance may be withdrawn. 1.3, explain the terms, invitation to treat, and the intention to create legal relations. And
Yes.
1.4, we look at analysing the role of consideration in contractual agreements. The indicative content for learning outcome 1 is we look at identifying parties to a contract, making an offer, communicating an offer, accepting an offer, communicating acceptance of an offer. We look at the postal rule as well. We looked at electronic acceptance, revocation of an offer, and withdrawing acceptance before an offer is in receipt. Difference between ITT, which is invitation to treat an offer, consideration, and promissory estoppel. Then we go on to
Mhm.
learning outcome 2, which is to understand the contents of a contract. And here we look at the terms. We look at 2.1, defining statutory terms, express terms. We look at 2.2, which we look at explaining how terms can be implied in common law. And then 2.3, we look at evaluating the validity of exclusion clauses. And here we look at the indicative content as an element of looking at what express terms are, terms by custom trade. We also look at elements of conditions, warranties, inanimate terms, discharge of remaining contractual, breach of contract, a common law incorporation of exclusion clauses, statutory governance, and the UCTA Act. Then we go on to learning outcome 3, which is to understand the factors that vitiate a contract. So we look at 3.1, we look at describing various types of contractual mistake and misrepresentation. We'll also look at analysing how lack of capacity, illegality, and public policy may void a contract. And 3.3, assess how undue influence and duress may void a contract. Here we look at capacity to enter into a contract, minors, we look at intoxication, and we look at meeting of the minds and statutory illegality. We then go on to look at misrepresentation, the different types, fraudulent, negligent, and innocent. We look at mistake, different types of mistake. We then look at the effect of mistake on a contract, duress and frustration. And then finally, we look at learning outcome 4, which is to understand how a contract may be breached. We look at 4.1, explain various types of contract breach, including anticipatory and repudiatory breach. 4.2, describe the calculation of breach. And 4.3, assess the role of equitable remedies. And so here we look at the indicative content, breach of a contract, anticipatory breach, the effect of breach of a contract, liquidated damages, calculation of damages and equitable remedies, and requirements for assessing equitable remedies, including clean hands and latches. So the assessment for it is a pass or a fail, okay? To achieve a pass for this, learners must provide evidence that they fulfilled all the learning outcomes. And it's a portfolio of evidence, and your word count on your assignment is 3,000 words with the 10% flexibility, okay?
Okay.
Any questions on the module specification, the unit specification?
No.
Okay, so we'll go on. I'll just show you how the assignment looks. We've got an assignment discussion session. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is available on Moodle for you. So there's some parts that maybe, repeated again, but I'm going to go through it quite quickly because I've put this on slides for you so that you've got access to them slides and they'll help you assess it, but we'll go through each one. So this is how it literally looks, the assignment. Okay, so
Okay.
you'll have your assessments there. You will either get a pass or a fail. And it's a portfolio of evidence of 3,000 words. You've got 4 tasks. So each task is listed there, which towards the end of each of the, when we've done
This is
all the
not the
learning,
same one that I have, though.
this is not the same one.
No. This says about Josh or something. The one I have is Mr. Wilson and Mavis. This is not the same one I have.
Which one do you, let me just have a look. I've only been given this one. Let's have a look. Brief. Have you been given Mavis?
Yes, and Josh.
Mr.
I'm sorry,
Wilson.
and Mr. Wilson. Yes.
So just give me 1 minute. Why have I been given this one then?
Yeah, now that I'm looking at the assignment brief, this is not what I have at all.
Okay,
No.
just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
No problem.
Right, okay. Presentation, assignment brief. Let me just have a look. Yes, this is Josh one. This is the only one I've been given. But I have got an old one. Let me just see if I can contact one of the.
It says extended, yeah, level 4 contract law. I don't know why yours is different. Oh.
Yeah, so let me just 1 minute. I'm just waiting online just for 1 minute.
Sure.
I was just going to ask you, Lisa, is there any way we could reschedule this? Because you need to make sure that we're going through the right, documentation for you. Is there any time during the week that you could reschedule?
We can try for Monday.
Right, let me just get my diary. 1 minute, Lisa. Diaries. 1 minute. Right. Just stop this because this is, I don't want to be going through the wrong things with you. Do you know what I mean? So we need to clarify that.